Hello everyone, Silent here and welcome to another Bedrock Edition tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to build a very simple and rather small Enderman farm for your Minecraft worlds. This is kind of like a mini Enderman farm for those of you who just want a quick and convenient source of Ender Pearls and experience without a super massive build or really a lot of hassle. So this farm is significantly smaller and significantly easier to build than my previous Enderman farm design. However, that does come at a cost, so this thing is about half as efficient. But that being said, this farm is still 2 to 3 times more efficient than standard Enderman farms with this similar layout of just having a drop chute and then a big spawning platform above it. The reason why this farm is so much more efficient than standard designs using this layout is because we are not using any form of endermites with this design. Endermites are extremely slow and very unreliable, and with this design we don't have any of that stuff. We're just completely forcing the Enderman into your kill chamber. But anyway, standard Enderman farm designs that use just a drop chute and big spawning platform, those will typically get you to level 30 in anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. Extremely slow. However, this design will get you to level 30 in approximately 7.5 minutes. So as you can see, this thing kind of blows them out of the water. So there's nothing particularly frustrating about the build process for this design. It doesn't need to be chunk aligned, and it can be built pretty much anywhere in the entire end dimension as long as it's a couple hundred blocks away from any form of landmass. And while you're using this farm, you'll basically always get a constant flow of Endermen. However, you cannot AFK at this farm to get a large build-up since the mob cap is stuck at 8 mobs. Yes, that means you'll get 8 Endermen maximum in your kill chamber. If you want to get more, you're gonna have to build my other design. So when using this farm, you basically have to be constantly killing the Endermen to free up room in the mob cap and allow more to teleport into your kill chamber. So let's quickly do a little rundown of how exactly this farm works. So down here at the bottom, we have ourselves the AFK platform and the killing chamber along with our storage as well. About 25 or so blocks above that point, we have ourselves the actual spawning platform. That is going to be a large checkerboard of these quartz blocks. Of course, you don't need to use quartz. That's just a nice block for looking at in the end. So we have ourselves about 400 or so spawning spots, which is plenty, and that really helps boost the rates of this farm. When they spawn on these spawning blocks, their heads are going to be in these leaf blocks, and that's going to push them out immediately to the side. As you can see here, they're going to fall into this water, get slightly softened by it, but more importantly, they're going to be trying to teleport away from that water, which actually works very well. It's the same concept that we use for the large farm over there. And they will either teleport down onto these pressure plates, which will push them immediately into your kill chamber. So they'll either teleport to these ones or they'll teleport directly down into your kill chamber and still be slightly softened by the water. So as you can see, it is very simple, very straightforward. So before we get started with the tutorial, of course, make sure to check out the description. There will be a full materials list and world download for this Enderman farm down there. Definitely check that one out if you are interested or curious. But the first thing that we need to do for this farm is, of course, get ourselves a working platform to build on and build the entire farm upwards from. So this platform should be a couple of hundred blocks out from the main end island, and also make sure it's far enough away from your end city islands as well. That way nothing that spawns over there is going to be impacting your farm or your rates in the slightest. So you can, of course, go out in a cardinal direction like those builds, or you can go out in a diagonal. Whatever you want to do, just make sure that those islands are a couple hundred blocks away. You're also going to want to make sure that you mark out the center block of your platform. This is going to be the center block of our entire farm since it's going to be an odd number. And now what you want to do is you want to pillar up by 26 blocks with either scaffolding or ladders. Scaffolding is going to be best because you're going to need to place blocks off of the side of this. So yeah, just make sure you got some scaffolding. And we need to go up by 26 blocks. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and that will be 26. So you want to put yourself another marker block at your 26th block. Now that the central 3x3 is completely marked out, we need to expand this by 15 blocks in every single direction for our water platform. So you want to make sure that you build this out of solid blocks and not slabs, because we're going to be covering this with water. And of course, if you place water on a slab, it's just going to waterlog it. It's not going to be a good time. So make sure you build this out of solid blocks unless you want to do some acrobatics later on. But again, we're going to expand this by 15 in every direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And again, just do that on all 4 sides of this platform in all of these directions. So you should have something that looks a little bit like this, which is pretty much perfect. Each of these quartz wings is 15 blocks long, not counting the glass or the sea lantern in the middle. And now is a perfect time to grab your torches because Endermen are going to start spawning up here and they will be in your way constantly. So yeah, just light this thing up as you are building this quartz platform. Again, this does not need to be out of quartz, just any solid block. But now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and connect the corners of these wings together on all 4 sides and then fill in all the squares in the middle. It's going to be a lot of block placing, but it shouldn't be too big of a hassle. So here's our fully built and fully torch spam platform. As you can see, it's looking pretty bright. And also, this thing is going to be a total of 33 wide by 33 blocks long, so you can double count everything, make sure you got it all correct, and then we can move on. So what we want to do now is just go ahead and put a little bit of a border around this thing just with solid blocks, and you basically just want to go all the way around the edges of this. You don't need these corner blocks. And this is basically just going to keep in your water, so pretty straightforward. Okay, so that is our little border wall going all the way around this massive platform. And now what you want to do is you want to start building up the actual spawning platform. So go to the corner of your platform, go in by a block, and then go up by 3. This is going to be the starting of the platform itself. You'll be able to walk underneath this, which is very convenient. And the block that you want to use for your actual spawning spaces is going to be some sort of stone or some sort of wood, basically something that they can spawn on, but that they cannot pick up. Do not build your platform out of dirt because they can pick that up, they will self-destruct your entire farm. It's not going to be a good time. And also, we're going to be using dirt as a filler block, which will be very convenient later on. Just trust me on it. I'll explain in a moment. But what you want to do is you want to alternate back and forth from your andesite, your spawning block, and your filler dirt block all the way around the farm to all 4 corners. And if you've built everything correctly and everything works out perfectly, then what you should see is everything lines up great and that all 4 corners of your spawning platform will be inside the actual water platform by a block. So these 2 are inside by a block. This 3rd corner over here is inside by a block. And then this final 4th corner is also inside by a block. One final note, light this thing up so no Endermen spawn on it and steal your dirt because that is going to be kind of a hassle. So I just went ahead and marked out the complete outer edge of our spawning platform with our dirt and our andesite. And now what you want to do for the easiest building process of this platform is just do passes of your spawning blocks and your filler dirt blocks. So the first pass is of course going to be your andesite on the faces of all that dirt. And then go back and do another pass of your dirt on the faces of all of those andesite. So basically just a solid border, and that's gonna give you this very nice zigzag shape. I'm sure you can see where I'm going from here, but do another pass of your solid blocks, and that is gonna give you the exact checkerboard shape that you want for this spawning platform. As you can see, very simple process. You just got to do that going all the way across this entire platform. And that is our spawning platform completely filled in. And as you can see, it's looking pretty dirty and also very torch spammed as well. But don't go ahead and remove your dirt quite yet. You're still going to need that to stand on. Hopefully the Enderman didn't mess it up too badly. But now what you want to do is you want to do pretty much the same process but with leaves. So you want a leaf block at head height right above all of your stone actual spawning spaces. It's going to be the exact same placing process as the spawning platform. However, these leaves are going to be again at head height. This is going to be what's pushing all of the Endermen off of the spawning space and into the water down below. And now would also be a good time to make sure that all of your torches are actually on the dirt blocks because that'll make the torches a lot easier to remove later on. So go through here, make sure all of your torches are on the dirt and not on the stone. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Again, you want your leaves directly above your spawning spaces. And there we go. The leaf layer is now completely installed as well. And now we can actually go ahead and remove the dirt and the torches from this platform too. So what you want to do is you want to get yourself an efficiency 4 or higher diamond shovel, and then basically just go ahead and look directly upwards, hold down your mine button, and just walk across all of these different rows. You should be able to remove instantly all of the dirt from the spawning platform and from the leaf platform too. I know that that looked terrible, however, it worked. So all the dirt got removed, all the torches with it, and also all the dirt from this layer. By removing the dirt, you make this farm active, so these guys will be able to spawn here, fall off these platforms, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Again, you want to make sure that you remove all your torches from this. And here it is without all the dirt. As you can see, this thing looks pretty nice and clean. And now what we want to do is we want to head to the center area, and we are going to need to remove a few of your spawning blocks and a few of the leaves as well, just so we can actually build up the piston pushers, which are going to allow more spots for the Enderman to teleport to, and also, push the guys into your kill chamber. So as you can see, we have our 3x3 marked out. We're going to go ahead and put a little bit of a ring around this at this layer right here, and then pressure plates on top of all of these, of course. And now what we need to do is probably remove a few more of these guys, just so we can actually get these bits in there. But you want to put yourself down some glass, and then some glass up and behind that as well. Cover all of that with redstone, and then just 3 normal pistons facing forwards like so. And you want to do that for all 4 sides. Remove any spawning spaces that may be in your way, such as these ones, and of course remove the leaves above them too. Alright, so there are our first 4 piston pushers in place. Of course, if you step on any of these, they're going to push you off into that central hole. And don't worry about the redstone not actually connecting up there. That's just a visual bug. It is, of course, connected, and that's pretty much all there is to it. So now what you want to do is you want to cover up the redstone dust in the back, and of course the tops of the pistons as well. That'll prevent Enderman from teleporting up here, and also from landing up here when they spawn on the spawn spots. And you don't have to worry about, these pieces of glass messing with your spawn spots. All the Endermen will still be pushed out and eventually fall into water. Not going to hurt your efficiency in the slightest. So go ahead and cover up all 4 sides, as you can see there. And now you want to cover up these corners too. So basically, just put a couple of glass blocks right there. That'll prevent these guys from falling in where they shouldn't be, and also prevent the Endermen that teleport right here from walking out through your corners. So of course, do that for all 4 of your corners. And that is our entire top of piston pushers done. Of course, this isn't really going to be doing anything right now because we don't have our water in place. And that's perfectly fine. The water is going to be the final thing that we do. So now we're going to need to put this central scaffolding to use. So hopefully you do have scaffolding. You can go ahead and remove that central marker block, remove these central pieces of glass, and then you also want to remove these solid blocks that are right underneath your pressure plates. That will give Enderman headroom in order to actually be able to teleport to this area down there. So in total, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. All right, so now that we have our first set of piston pushers in place, we need to install 2 more below it just to provide ample teleportation room to all of your Endermen so that they don't die in your water. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna travel down this scaffolding by a couple of blocks, and then we're just gonna kind of branch out by 1, and then we're gonna start up our next little platform of solid blocks. And basically, you just wanna make sure that there is a 3-block gap in between this platform right here and then the next platform above it. So as you can see, that is 3 blocks a gap. And then from here, you're basically just going to do the exact same process over again of installing your pressure plates and then your glass behind it, glass up by 1 block from the back of there, and then just cover all of that with your redstone, and then just put your pistons on it. And of course you want to do that on all 4 sides. And here's our second layer of piston pushers. As you can see, it's exactly the same as the one above it. So now we just need to build 1 more of these going down. Again, it's going to be the exact same little process. Branch out by a block, put in your solid blocks, put your pressure plates on top of that, your glass behind it, step it up by a block, cover it in redstone dust, and then of course put your pistons on it. And again, you want to do that on all 4 sides. It should be the exact same as this layer right here. I'm sure you guys can figure that out. So as a review, here is the first layer of piston pushers. All of these have glass going around the edges and covering the redstone and pistons, just to prevent Endermen from falling on there and teleporting there as well. The next layer down has, of course, a 3-block gap so that the Enderman can teleport and maybe even potentially spawn there. And that's pretty straightforward. The next layer down from there has again a 3-block gap for teleportation, and all of this equals a 3x3 drop zone for your kill chamber. So now that the farm is nearing completion, we're gonna start working on the kill chamber down here at the bottom. Hopefully you still have your center identifier block in place. We're gonna be using the 3x3 area around it for our kill chamber and item collection. So go ahead and remove your scaffolding. We'll be building that back up in a moment once we actually install the kill chamber. But now you need to decide where you actually want to be standing when you kill your Enderman. And this is the block that we're going to be standing on to kill our Enderman. So just get your side, correctly marked out. Now you're going to go ahead and place a block on that corner of the platform and that corner as well. Go ahead and install a double chest right here for some storage. You can of course expand that storage into whatever you like. That's just kind of like a placeholder chest. Run 2 hoppers into that chest, however, and then you want a lever on that block, a powered rail, and then just, wrap around some normal rail all the way into this block and ending with a powered rail. You then want to go ahead and put a lever on the back of that block to power that rail. If you put it on this side, it's going to churn that rail and break your entire thing, so don't put it on that side. And now you want to go ahead and just cover up this rail system with a layer of solid blocks and get yourself some slabs right here. That way you can actually open your chest and still walk up there. So this is the actual block that you'll be standing on when killing your Enderman. So now you want to go ahead and build a 3-block tall wall around your kill chamber out of glass or solid blocks, whatever you feel like doing. I prefer glass, it looks a lot nicer. But you also want to go ahead and put 3 trapdoors right here on the front of your kill chamber, and then put a layer of solid blocks a couple blocks above that. So this is going to be right above your head when you're actually attacking the Enderman. You also want to go ahead and place some trapdoors right there too, and that's going to significantly reduce the chance of the Enderman ever hitting you, which of course is very, very nice. Go ahead and put some more blocks above that, and now we're ready to install the rest of our rings. The first ring is going to be a 1-block gap from your actual kill chamber, and of course this is going to be a 3-block ring so that all your Endermen can fall right into your kill chamber. You can build these out of solid blocks or out of glass, whatever you like. The next ring is going to be 2 blocks up, so just the same deal as that one, and then 2 more blocks up for your next one, 2 more blocks, and that will be your final ring. That should leave you with a 2-block gap in between your final ring and the bottom of this platform right here. So go ahead and fill in all those rings. So now you want to come up to the top of your farm and you want to build up 1 more ring. So you're going to go above your little ring right here that holds in your water up by 2 blocks, and then just make a lower half slab ring the exact same size as the one that you did before to hold in your water, and of course make this thing go all the way around your entire farm. This will keep any Enderman in your water from getting up on these blocks and surviving, and also keep the Enderman from these blocks from actually being launched out and falling on top of those, so kind of the perfect height. And again, just wrap this all the way around your build. It is now time for the final step of this farm, and that is flooding your water platform. I would suggest double checking absolutely everything about your farm, making sure it's all perfect before putting in your water. Once you put in the water, you can't really turn off your farm, so just keep that in mind. What you want to do is you want to put water sources along all 4 edges of this upper platform, and that will basically allow the entire thing to be immediately flooded and turn into one giant pool. You need to do all 4 edges because we have that center area, and that's going to prevent the entire thing from flooding. As you can see, there's still this area over here, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. And yeah, basically just put some over here too, and that should be an entire massive pool of water. As you can see, works pretty well, and now the farm is completely live and good to go. And there we go, we are getting our first Enderman into our kill chamber, and again, these guys won't be one-hit kill because of how we're getting them in here. They're not going to have a consistent amount of health. Some of these guys might need 2 hit, some of these guys might be 3, it just kind of depends, but either way, it's going to be a very, very quick XP farm for the effort put into it. So hopefully you guys do enjoy. One thing I nearly forgot to do was put the hopper minecart on there and then flick the lever. That will collect all of your ender pearls and be absolutely fine for your item collection system. As you can see, we're getting plenty of ender pearls from this thing. And before you guys all ask in the comment section down below, no, you cannot set up a trident killer for this. Trident killers do not work for Enderman because that is a projectile, and these guys are immune to those. However, that is pretty much going to do it for this tutorial. I hope that you guys did enjoy. Of course, if you did, be sure to leave a like on the video. It helps out the channel significantly. Thank you very much for doing so. Maybe consider sharing this tutorial around with anyone that you know that wants an Enderman farm that is on the cheap and on the simple side as well. And if you're new here and you want to see more tutorials like this in the future, please do subscribe. We are nearing 50,000 subscribers, which is kind of crazy. Thank you all so much for the support. I will see you guys down in the comment section where you can ask me about any questions, comments, or concerns that you may have. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Thank you again for watching. And then there was silence.